So, you want to know how to win more gunfights in CS2, but you don't know where to start. Well, today I'm going to focus on 3 key areas that are going to make sure you improve how many gunfights you're winning in CS2. Now, the first key area is the most obvious. That's going to be your aim and your mechanics. So I'm going to go over some workshop maps and some drills you can go through in order to improve on your aim and your mechanics. The second part will be your movement. So when you're in a gunfight, how are you approaching it? Are you just spraying and praying and crouching and hoping for the best, or are you actually putting thought into your movement? The third, final, and most important part is going to be your positioning. So, where do you position yourself on the map? What spots are you playing? How do you play them? And when do you play them? So, this is CS Stats. I've done a video on it before. This is just your flicking warm up like you would do in aimbots. So then we've got Rush. This is a great game mode. The bots just rush at you. You choose how many bots, and you just have to kill them as fast as possible. And finally, my favourite part of the map, we've got Shuffle. The bots will spawn above you, below you, headshot angles, far, close. So you've got to practice all these angles and put it all into one while they're moving. Right, so then of course you've got your free-for-all deathmatch. You definitely want to be playing this. You can practice your level changes, your crosshair placement, your movement, your counter strafing, everything, long range, close range shots, everything comes into practice. And when you play the community servers, you tend to play against better quality players, sometimes even pros, like quite regularly. So it's a really great place to practice your overall aim, overall mechanics, and if you're going positive in your free-for-all deathmatch servers, you know you're doing something right. So to work on your movement, I would give Only Ways Up a go. Is a great map. I used to play it when CS2 first came out because we don't really have the KZ servers that we used to have, unfortunately. But yeah, just make sure you've got SV cheats as true, so you can no clip up to your last checkpoint if you do fall off, which I do many times. But yeah, this is a good one to use, just for your general movement improvements. So the most important of winning gunfights when it comes to movement is going to be your counter strafes. So you're going to practice just putting your crosshair at head level and going like D, hitting A as soon as you get onto them, and vice versa. Your forward and backward shots as well. So you're entering into a site, somebody pops up, you can instantly stop on a dime. And then the hardest ones, which are like your WDs and your ASs, so like this, WASD, like that. So that's something you're going to want to practice on aimbots, CS stats, anything where you've got the bots like static like this, or you can even do it against moving bots if you want to make it a bit more difficult. So as for positioning, this is what you need to think about. If I'm a T coming out of ramp on Mirage, for example, I'm going to pre-aim this bot. I'm going to kill him, easy. I'm going to be clearing my angles like you might do in YPRAC. This angle is going to catch me off guard. Now obviously some players do play in this corner, but it's still a better angle to play if you're trying to catch someone off guard than say triple. I'm going to come out here, I'm going to look, and he's going to, if his aim is good, he's going to insta-kill me before I can kill him. So that's the first thing you want to think about positioning. You want to think about where can I play that I'm not going to be expected and I can get a free kill. So the next thing you want to think about is where do you want to play when you've got info, you know where they're coming. Say for example it's a pistol round, you're a CT with a USP, do you want to be playing here, here, or here if you're the short player? Well, you're going to want to play here because it's the furthest angle you can take and it's going to be the most favourable fight for you with a USP versus them with Glocks. So that's something you need to think about every round. How are you positioning yourself to give yourself the best advantage? So in this case, you want to be as far away as possible from the angle. And when you're in a clutch situation, you've got to think a lot about positioning as well. If you've got the bomb planted default here, Palace is a great option to go to. If you end up going in ramp, and this guy's got a kit, by the time you've heard him tap the bomb, and you get out here, and you clear some angles, he might have already defused the bomb. You could plant here, you could play con, jungle. If you plant here, you could play CT. In more advanced games, sometimes you plant somewhere to throw someone off. So you might plant here so that they think you're in CT, but really you're in ramp and you still have a decent angle. You might be in Palace and you still have a decent angle. So that's just something to think about with your positioning. You want to play based on what is going to give you the best advantage in your next gunfight, because sometimes a gunfight doesn't come down to aim or movement. It simply just comes from who's put themselves in a better spot to win the round. So the last thing you want to think about is always giving yourself a favourable engagement and making it a 1v1 when possible. So say you're coming out ramp, you want to clear stairs, clear triple, clear CT, clear default, clear close, just like this methodically. If you're just going to run out of ramp like this, you're going to expose yourself to a million different angles here, and you're just going to die. On the same token, if you're playing CT side, you want to hold an angle where you're exposed to one place. If you've got teammates holding Palace, you're safe here. If you're playing this angle and you've got someone holding Con, you're safe. If that's not the case, you just know that you're taking a risk when you're doing this. If you're playing CT here, yep, you can crouch, you're only exposed to ramp, but then again, if you don't have someone holding Con, you need to be aware of that. And if that's the case, you need to check it on a timer. You need to just make sure that you're taking 1v1s. Say you're playing window, and you're playing out here, two people swing you, you might kill one, and then you die instantly. You're playing this angle, say with an AWP, two people swing, you get a kill, you fall back, and you're safe. That's how you want to play the positioning, so that you make sure it's always a 1v1.